Thank you for tuning back into Mo's Minute. I hope you guys can hear me. I couldn't find my microphone, so I'm just trying to do this without it. But we are here at Holy Cross, and we're visiting the grave of Michael DeYoung, who is in the mausoleum right behind me. So Michael DeYoung, if you watched last week's episode, then you remember that he was shot by Adolf Spreckles, so that's why we're here. So Michael DeYoung was one of the founders of the San Francisco Chronicle. It was him and his two brothers, Charles and Gus, who both died before him. And they, in 1865, they were from St. Louis originally. And in 1865, they founded what they called the Daily Dramatic Chronicle, which became the San Francisco Chronicle. But at its time that they were running it, it was literally like just a tabloid. Like, it was super salacious, like, you know, it was basically like the National Enquirer of its day, pretty much. So they were well known for just printing whatever they wanted. And that's actually how Charles DeYoung got killed, was because he printed something about a local politician who later became mayor. And I don't even know if it was true or not. It probably wasn't. And this guy freaked out and tried to kill him. And then Charles DeYoung survived the first attack, and then the guy came back and tried again, and this time succeeded. And he literally shot him outside of a moving taxi, and he was acquitted because everybody hated the DeYoungs. Or everyone hated Charles, not sure about Michael. And so a similar thing happened to Michael DeYoung, though, because he printed an article that the Spreckles family, Adolf Spreckles in particular, was the Sugar family, was defrauding people, that they just committed all sorts of fraud. And so then Adolf Spreckles tried to kill him. And he survived. He did survive his injuries. And Spreckles was injured himself in a brawl that happened right after this incident. And when it came time for him to stand trial, he was literally acquitted due to a plea of temporary insanity, because, again, the jury already hated the DeYoungs. But Michael DeYoung, even though he just printed whatever the hell he wanted, really wasn't a bad guy. He was a huge supporter of the arts. Well, so was Adolf Spreckles' wife, Alma, but the two just never saw eye to eye after that defrauding article. But yeah, he was a huge supporter of the arts, and he was inspired by the Chicago World's Fair of 1893 and wanted to bring it to San Francisco. So there was a midwinter fair, the California International Midwinter Exposition in 1894, and Michael DeYoung was really involved in making that happen. But it's not really well remembered today because it was super racist. I read an article from the Essay Gate about the Japanese tea garden in Golden Gate Park, and that was how the Japanese tea garden got started, was at this midwinter fair of 1894, and it was run by a Australian businessman. So an Australian guy is running the Japanese tea garden. And because that's not bad enough, he decided that he wanted to have actual Japanese people pulling rickshaws at his garden. Yeah, so it's not really fondly remembered today. But one thing that came out of it was that Michael DeYoung footed the bill for the Fine Arts Building of San Francisco to be built. So it was built around that time, 1894, 1895, in Golden Gate Park. And he gave it a ton of money. He ended up housing his own personal treasures in there because he was a huge collector of everything. And after he died, that Fine Arts Building became known as the DeYoung. The DeYoung we know and love in Golden Gate Park. It's actually the Michael DeYoung Memorial Museum of Modern Art, or Fine Art, or something. So, yeah. And he's here in the mausoleum right behind me. So that is the story of Michael DeYoung and his attempted assassination at the hand of Adolf Spreckles. And tune in next week for more fun and exciting bits of history. And yeah, we will talk soon. Bye.